find if you really exaggerate that heel going across, it helps the inner thigh, right?
Yeah.
Maybe these celebrities should have just stuck to what they're good at.
Shaq Fu. Just the name makes people cringe. Like you don't even want to go there.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrity business fails.
I had some clothing mishaps. I've had some clothing triumphs and stuff like that.
For this list, we're focusing on people who gained their celebrity in movies, music, whatever, and who decided to use their fame to venture into business. Only those endeavors didn't work out so well.
I was basically a victim to, just wearing sneakers every day.
These enterprises were either critically panned or commercially unsuccessful, but more often than not, it was a combination of the two.
Wow!
Number 10, Fashion Cafe, Naomi Campbell, Elle Macpherson, Claudia Schiffer, and Christy Turlington.
The first Fashion Cafe opened in New York earlier this year with a celebrity-packed party.
These four supermodels decided to go into the restaurant business in the mid-1990s. And why not use their area of expertise as a theme? With two businessmen brothers, the ladies opened New York's Fashion Cafe in 1995 and quickly began construction on a London location that never opened.
Elle's most recent involvement is in Fashion Cafe. She traveled to London to check out an old theater building that will house the second restaurant in the planned chain.
The restaurant never drew crowds, and critics found the connection between fashion and food puzzling, saying the theme was off-putting to customers, or at least that it didn't inspire them to, eat.
I have my career. You guys don't. You want what I have. And for me, it's a waste of my time.
That, plus infighting between the supermodels, compounded by the fact that their businessmen partners were arrested for fraud, bankruptcy, and money laundering, meant the restaurant closed in 1998.
You don't know how to switch it on and off. So this is why I got this picture. I've asked you from day one, do not fight amongst yourselves. Please come to me. I've said that to you.
Number 9, Shaq Fu, Shaquille O'Neal.
I call you Shaq. I call you Shaq Fu. I call you Shaq Diesel. You got any new nicknames for me?
My new one is Wolf of Ball Street.
All right, that's it. Done. Gotcha.
You're a major basketball star and a popular personality in the early 1990s. What do you do?
I am Kazam!
Well, I'm really happy for you.
Make a 2D fighting game starring yourself, of course. The Shaq Fu video game was released in 1994 for Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, and is often listed among the worst video games ever. With a terrible title and premise, which sees you playing as Shaquille O'Neal in battles against otherworldly enemies, all while on your way to a charity basketball game in Tokyo, of course, the game was bound to fail. You're good at a lot of things, Shaq, but you weren't meant for the gaming community.
Now, I can go into depth and describe the controls and every last detail why this game is so god-awful, but I don't even have to. The name says it all. The title doesn't even sound good. Shaq Fu? It's like a joke.
Number 8, Nikki O Hotels, Nikki Hilton.
Becoming the most global full-service hotel brand in the world with more than 540 locations in 78 countries, Hilton Hotels and Resorts continue to grow and strengthen.
As heir to the world-famous Hilton brand of hotels, you'd think that Nikki would have some business smarts, especially when it comes to the family biz. Well, evidently not so much. Meant to be a lavish chain of hotels with a signature scent, designer suites, and other extravagant details,
I smell money. And a lot of it.
with original locations in Miami and Chicago, the business never got off the ground. The company filed for bankruptcy after 1 year, and to add insult to injury, Hilton was later sued by her partners for breach of contract. That business-savvy gene may have skipped a generation.
I could never imagine living here. I couldn't either. I would die.
Number 7, Flav's Fried Chicken, Flavor Flav. In the early 2010s, Flavor Flav tried to make it in the fast food business, hoping that his fried chicken-oriented restaurant, which used his secret homegrown recipe, would provide competition to KFC. Well, he was wrong. After opening one store in January 2011 in Iowa, the restaurant quickly closed just 3 months later.
You gonna get it in, FFC. I got the first dollar. Holla!
The reason behind the closing is disputed, with Flav blaming manager Nick Cimino for mismanagement, and Cimino blaming Flav for being largely absent from the business and for his general lack of knowledge about the restaurant biz. Either way, it was a failure.
I ain't trying to compete against people. I'm just trying to compete against myself. But I know that my product is going to do good.
Number 6. Tay Kassan Vegan Footwear, Natalie Portman.
I couldn't find vegan shoes as I didn't want to wear any animal products, and I had a really hard time finding the shoes that I wanted to wear.
This famous actress is an outspoken vegan, advocating animal rights on a regular basis, but her love of animals did not mix as well with her business ambitions as she might have hoped.
When I would go out at night, I would just have very, very limited options.
Portman partnered with designer shoe store Tay Kassan in 2008 to create vegan-friendly footwear, meaning shoes that are not made from any animal byproduct, and a portion of the proceeds would go towards animal charities.
I'll kill your dog for fun, so don't push me!
While it was undoubtedly a good cause and idea, the shoes flopped, as no one ended up buying them. Later that year, the store closed, leaving Portman's business dreams unfulfilled. Number 5. Tourist destination Brazelton, Georgia, Kim Basinger.
This makes me smile too.
This model and actress had big ambitions, planning to turn a nowhere town, Brazelton, Georgia to be exact, into a major tourist destination. Plans of hosting large film festivals and building movie studios to attract the Hollywood crowd, Basinger bought the town for $20 million in 1989. However, after some unrelated financial difficulties, she was forced to sell the land in 1995 for a fraction of her original investment.
Pick up the money.
I don't want to pick up the money!
Pick up the money.
She had big dreams, but unfortunately, they did not come to light, and Brazelton remains a relatively tourist-free town of 8,000.
You won't make me ashamed of myself! I can't be bought by you or anybody!
Number 4. Pastel clothing, Kanye West.
You ain't got the answer. You ain't spent $13 million of your own money trying to empower yourself.
Yes, but I spent hundreds of thousands and putting out clothing lines at a smaller degree. All I'm asking you,
and there ain't no Ralph though.
Kanye may think he's the king of all music, but his career in business has struggled to reach those same heights.
Kanye West wants you to pay $120 for a white t-shirt. So Kanye has paired up with a French clothing company to design a white t-shirt.
In 2005, Fashion Plate West began to have dreams of his own fashion line and started sampling his clothes to crowds at his concerts.
So go ahead, go nuts, go ape. Especially in my pastel on my page. Act like you can't tell who made this new gospel, homie. Take 6 and take this, hater.
Pictures of the threads then went online, but almost immediately it was announced that the pastel line was done and no clothes would ever be released.
And I could lose money on a higher level too.
Despite this failure, however, Yeezy went on to release a relatively successful women's brand. So we're thinking we haven't seen the last of Mr. West's passion for fashion.
When I did the Louis Vuittons, it was only one shot. But the problem is I tasted that clean water and it tasted so good.
Number 3, the Kardashian card, the Kardashian sisters.
The reality stars are cutting ties with the prepaid cards that were charging excessive fees.
In 2010, the Kardashian sisters launched the Kardashian Card, a bright, glitzy-looking credit card that actually acted as a prepaid debit card and targeted to young adults, specifically women, who were still trying to get on their feet financially.
The worst offender may be the new Kardashian Card, named for the reality show Celebutants. It's marketed to teenage girls.
The card was canceled less than 1 month after its release due to extremely high fees, legal problems, and tons of bad press.
With this one, you don't need credit, you don't even need a bank account.
But you do need a lot of money for fees. A 6-month card costs $59.95 just to set up.
The girls made a statement saying they didn't want anything to do with predatory lending and that their reputation as, quote, honest, ethical, and fun-loving individuals who are kind and caring to others, end quote, was too important to sacrifice. Thus, why they scrapped it.
You know, I wasted everyone's money, I wasted everyone's everything, and I feel bad. You don't think I feel bad?
Number 2, XFL, Vince McMahon.
Ladies and gentlemen, this
In 2000, WWE owner Vince McMahon started the XFL, an extreme version of American football that was meant to keep the football crowd entertained during the off-season. The sport never took off, as it was never taken seriously due to outrageous rules and its general extreme nature, which people couldn't disassociate from the WWE.
I respect him a great deal, but this is a bad decision. He's gonna get hurt.
Worse yet, some spectators accused the XFL of being scripted, with outcomes predetermined for maximum excitement factor. Lasting only one season, broadcaster NBC canceled XFL due to abysmal TV ratings and poor reception of the sport itself. Guess it's back to baseball.
I want you to get in there, and I want you to go get me some ratings. Hey! You idiot! You idiot! Get out! Get out! Get out!
Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
It's been 2 years since 38 Studios collapsed. Employees stopped getting paychecks. The video game company owned by former Red Sox pitcher Curt Schilling went bankrupt.
I've been eating my Pasta Mania, and what you gonna do in the Mall of America, brother, when Hulk Hogan, Pasta Mania, and all my Pasta Maniacs run wild on you? What's he gonna do? All right.
Number 1, Planet Hollywood, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Demi Moore, Sylvester Stallone, etc.
Planet Hollywood is really cool because it's sort of like eating in a Hollywood museum.
Aiming to duplicate the success of the Hard Rock Cafe, this Hollywood-themed restaurant allowed patrons to eat while looking at real props from movies and various other film-related items, with many A-listers backing the venture. The company opened its doors in 1991, but high prices and mediocre food kept patrons away, leaving the restaurant's shares to drop dramatically.
Willis, you gonna put a George Jefferson display in Planet Hollywood or what? Sorry, pal.
Planet Hollywood has since filed for bankruptcy twice, and while at one point there were over 100 locations worldwide, today there are fewer than 10 remaining. Arnie has also severed his ties with the company, claiming that the restaurant never had the success he dreamed it would. And we don't blame him.
So come get a great taste of stardom, right here at Planet Hollywood.
Do you agree with our list? What celebrity business failure do you consider to be the worst? For more hilarious top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.